Hey everyone, it's Elaine with Sweet Stampin'. Thank you for joining me here this Tuesday, August. I think it's the 12th. I thought it was the 11th. I'm a day behind. The 12th. And I have a lot of fun things to show you. So yes, Pam, I have the Trader Joe's bags to show you. I am obsessed with the Trader Joe's bags now. One of my friends got me into it. Hey, Joan. And also hello to Karen. I saw Karen and Melanie. Thank you guys for joining me. So yes, I'm gonna show off the Trader Joe's bags. So I got the mini cooler bags today. They have large cooler bags. So the mini ones are like a good lunch bag size. So about this size. And hi, Gwen. And they're super cute. I always think it's funny that Trader Joe's, so they're based in California, here in California, oh gosh, I thought that said Pleasanton, but I can't read that. Pasadena, so in Southern California. But they're always wearing like the Hawaiian t-shirts, and but they have no Trader Joe's in Hawaii. So I think that's kind of funny. But yes, so these are the mini Trader Joe's bags, and they're insulated, so then you can keep your stuff cool. And they're just cute, and they come in different colors, and they fold flat. If you aren't using them, you just fold them like that, and then they're flat. And the other one, I love the blue one. It's super cute. The blue one is my favorite one. And so yeah, this is what I got this morning, is I got some Trader Joe's bags. So now I'm going to show you a couple more Trader Joe's bags. Hi, Tiffany. So this one is one of my favorites. It's a bigger bag. It folds flat, but it's hard. And you can open it up. Ta-da! And there's a piece that flips back, and it's hard. And it makes a really good sturdy bag to carry maybe more fragile things in, or a lot of things in. And I used it to carry vases full of water and flowers, and it didn't spill. It worked out really well. And I love that it has these handles here, so it's really, if it's really heavy, you can hold it close to your body. So they're currently available at Trader Joe's. So those are great bags. And then these ones are also currently available at Trader Joe's. They're just canvas tote bags, but they're nice, and they have a pocket on both sides. And they're just a good everything bag, and they're nice and big. So that's the canvas bag. And then this is the large tote bag, insulated bag. So it has the inside pocket, and it's a large version, obviously, of the mini. And so it's good for when you go shopping and you buy all your freezer items and your cold items, to put it in a bag like this so that your ice cream doesn't melt and things like that. So this is the large bag. So here's the mini peach bag. Ta-da! And here's the large bag. So, but my favorite, and the one that people stand in super long lines for, are the mini bags. So they have mini canvas bags, and these ones are the super popular ones because people like to embroider them, they like to decorate them, they like to draw on them. They do all kinds of fun things to decorate their bags. And my daughter got a set, and she uses it like her purse. So she takes it, and they have cute colors, and they just came out with the spring ones. They were the most popular so far. They have yellow and pink and green, and so, but they're no longer available, sorry. And then before they had red and what's the fourth color? Red, green, blue, and another color. I don't remember. I'm probably using it somewhere. And then next month they're coming out with Halloween ones. Halloween ones. So they'll probably be like orange and dark purple and green and black. So that's what I'm guessing. Okay, so that's the Trader Joe's bag obsession. So they're super cute and they're fun and they're really useful, and I think, and they're not very expensive. Let's see if it had the price on it. I know the tote bags are like $4, which is crazy. Because I know people would pay a lot more for them. But anyway, thanks you guys for joining me. I'm Elaine, and I'm going to show you some easy watercoloring tips today. I think the Painterly Pears Suite is perfect for this type of watercoloring. And so, but I'm going to do some review on what I showed last week and do the raffle. And I'm going to show you the cover of the mini catalog. I just got it yesterday. It just came. And some last chance items that came in stock. Let's go here. And so last week I used the extraordinary Flora bundle and the Label Me Grateful bundle, but I think it works with any shape bundle, so you can create a shape to put your flowers around. So this is one of the cards. I just posted this one today on my blog and on my Facebook page. And then here was a simple one. And then this one did some blending and some stamping. And then here's a simple one using the Label Me Grateful die. And then another one using the Gallery Blooms that just came back in stock. And the Everyday Arches, and then the label again. So we are going to raffle this card right here, this beautiful berry burst card, and I featured that one on my blog as well. And as a side note, the Cone Flower Celebrations bundle is back in stock. So there you go. All of these are now available, the cone flower. Okay, so now we're gonna go to my little raffle spinny wheel, and we'll put that aside and we'll give it a spin. Let's see. Who have we? It looks like we have Judy. So yay, Judy, congratulations. I am going to write your name down. Switch over here. So Judy B, and I will be sending you this lovely card. So congrats. All right, so let's go here, and I'm gonna close that, and awesome. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you some embellishments that are on the last chance list, because I think the embellishments are usually the best deals to get. So the irregular pearls are on last chance. The textured dots, they're the kind of heavy ones, are on last chance. And I'm so sad to see these go, the iridescent faceted gems. They are some of my favorites because they go with everything and they've got that bling bling sparkle. So those are going to be going. And then the basic gray and smoky slate pearls are going, and I haven't even used them yet. Maybe I should use some today. and the pearl adhesive backed sequins that you might remember from, oh, I'm still on the spinner. Sorry. Thank you. Okay. So these sequins are from Celebration, and they brought them back, and they're available on Last Chance, as well as all the other Celebration items. So they're doing this to clear out the Celebration items that they had left over, and so you can get those. I love those. So I'm excited because I want to use these a little bit more. But I'll show you these again. So the basic gray smoky slate pearls, the irregular pearls, the textured dots, the faceted gems. These are all on Last Chance. So definitely check that out, and the ribbon out, because this is a great deal when they're on sale. So just wanted to show that to you. All right, so let me find a place for these, and then we're gonna do Painterly Pears bundle, part of the Perfectly Pears bundle, part of the Painterly Pears. It's confusing sometimes. Suite. So this is the designer series paper. The colors, I would call them very dramatic, like that one right there, very dramatic, but beautiful. Really pretty. I love the paper. I always love the paper. I didn't care for the stamp set. I was not going to get this bundle, but I gave in, and I'm glad that I did, and you will see why when I show you these cards with watercoloring, because they make amazing cards with the texture. And what's cool is the texture is on, whoops, all my stamps are out, on the photopolymer. So you can get that texture on photopolymer, not just the red rubber. So that is really cool. And the paper has a sheet that you can use the dies to cut the images out. So you can cut this big pear, the flowers, the little pears, and the leaves. And so I'll be showing that to you as well, because I've got some cut out. So let's put this back. And then another one that I'm super sad is on Last Chance is the Elements of Text. This is one of my favorite stamp sets to use for backgrounds. And so I highly recommend getting it, because it's a great stamp set, and I'll be using it today. So check that one out too. Okay, so now let's check out first. I took that 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock. So let's see. So it would go something like, can you see how that lines up? So this is the bottom half of that. And all I did was put it on different backed paper. So we've got Secret Sea, Darling Duckling, Night of Navy, Mossy Meadow, and then these are the cutouts from the paper. So I just added some pears and stamped the sentiment there, and that's done. This one I just added a stylish shaped circle with the pair of pears and a pair of the flowers. And I used the low profile sparkle dots. I love these so much. I love that they're low profile. I love that they're sparkle, and they're just super pretty. So I think I'm going to put some on all of them because I love them so much. So these two are similar. And then this one, I decided to pop up the pear and pears because there's a pear underneath there, and kind of blend it in with the card and add the thank you. So I made them a little bit different. So those were easy peasy to put together after you cut out all the pears, and super fun. Next, we have this one. I just wanted to try something a little different. So I used the Everyday Arches and created a little flap here. And I put a magnet underneath there and stamped some pears. So you could stamp or write a little message here, but you can also open it up and I stamped. Look at how beautiful those pears stamp. And that's not even watercoloring. That's just stamping. So pretty. I love it. I love watercolored look. That's my favorite. All right, so there's that one that I did. And then I did a watercolor one, and I'll show you some of that. So here's the watercolor one. Isn't that gorgeous? How you can get it to look watercolored with stamps. It's amazing. Another stamp set that's going that I am also super sad about is the painted stripes. Big sigh. This is definitely one of my favorites. I spritzed the watercolor paper with water, got it all wet, and then I stamped off first in cloud cover and then stamped again. And it gave me this really cool watercolory, you know, even more so watercolory look. And used the textured notes dies to create the nice edges. Luckily, those are staying. But yeah, this one's going too. And this is definitely one that I love. It's going to be hard to see it go. Okay, so that's another one. And then, okay, so I have this one here, and then this one goes with this. I have like a whole stack. So let's make some cards. Okay, so for this one, I've already got a lot of it ready. But what I did is I cut out petal pink with the textured notes dies, and then this was just a scrap left over from those first cards that I showed you, and I kept it. You should keep those, and I'm just going to use it as like a little accent piece. So we're just going to adhere this on as a little accent, and I've also used the textured notes dies to cut the edges so that it kind of, you know, blends in on the edges. Looks like it's meant to be that way. And then this is a piece of 3.5 by 5. Is it 5? Yeah. No, 4 3/4. Well, it was 5, but I cut it down with the textured notes dies. Yeah, I tried an experiment here and I didn't like how it turned out. So I just turned the piece over and I did a little bit of a wash, and then you can see I stamped the elements of text stamp on it very, very lightly. And I just stamped it 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and it created this really pretty soft background. So let's put that on. And watercolor paper is precious, so I try not to waste it. And then just put this on the card. And that's just gonna go right there. And then I have 2 pears that I've already watercolored. And I cut out this leafy piece, leafy branch right here. And I used watercolor paper so I could color it and watercolor it. So I'm just going to add, you could do glue dots, but I'm just gonna do some glue because I think that'll be faster. We'll just do some dots. And then, where did I put my leaves? I think I forgot my leaves. Okay, so this is our little branch hanging down that our pears will hang off of. And I'm just gonna put a block on that. Sticky. And then I'm always making thank you cards. So this is gonna be a thank you card, and I'm gonna use the old olive or mossy meadow. We'll do mossy meadow. And we'll stamp the thank you. And this is also from the textured notes dies. I love that too. So we'll stamp that right here in the middle. And then these little petal pink flowers are also from the dies. So you've got this, and you've got individual flowers you can cut out, and this crosshatch that you can cut out. So that should be good. So now we're gonna add our pears, and I'm just gonna kind of tuck them under the leaves a little bit. Didn't stay yet. Okay, we'll wait a sec. And I think I still need to stamp the leaves. So let's put this aside for a moment and do some of the stamping. Let me check this card here. What? No. Okay, so we are going to do some fun watercoloring. So we have the outline stamps. So those are the outline stamps. And then we have these fill-in stamps. And I'm going to start with the Darling Duckling. So I'm going to start with the pears. This is so fun. Hey, Margaret. Oh, good. I'm glad you liked the card. And so I've inked that up, and you can kind of see already that there's more of a concentration on the other side. And so if I just stamp this on paper, I don't have any scraps close by that are big enough. I'll just use this. Okay, so if I just stamp this on paper, look at that texture already. Isn't that cool? It's so cool. Okay, but I want it to be like way watercolory. So this is a trick that I've shown before. You grab a Stampin' Spritzer filled with water, and you're going to spritz it. I'm gonna let's spritz it over my trash can here. So I did it twice. And now I'm going to stamp it on my watercolor paper. And you see how it's all like watercolory. Okay, and now I'm gonna clean this off. And I'm gonna switch, oh, I need 2 pairs though, 2. So I'm gonna do this again and spritz this again, 1, 2. And we'll put another pair over here. I'm gonna hold it down a little bit longer so the water can sink in a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna do some Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to, no, actually, I'm wrong. I'm gonna do Petal Pink. Isn't that weird? Petal Pink. I'm gonna do, it's actually really cool. Okay, Petal Pink, I'm gonna get a lot, and I'm just gonna spritz it again. Whoa, that was probably too much. Okay, start over again, because it just turned into a watery blob, and I don't want it to be a watery blob. I still want it to have some of that texture on it. So let's hold it away a little bit more. There we go. And I'm gonna stamp the Petal Pink right on top and hold it down. Okay, we're getting some color on there. Doesn't that look cool? It's so fun. It's so fun to watch. Okay. So here's the second pair, spritzy, spritzy. Okay, and stamp this. So this is why I'm using watercolor paper, is because I'm stamping it over and over again. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks good on regular paper too, but I just love the watercolor paper. Okay, so that's our Petal Pink. We've added a little bit of red tone in there. And so now we're gonna go to the Mossy Meadow. And these are all colors that I pulled from the Designer Series paper, as I normally do. Okay, spritz this one. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Okay. And then we'll add this one on top. And I spritz this a little extra juicy. Ooh! And then it's gonna like soak all in and like blend together, and it just looks really cool. And if you want it to like blend a little bit more, you just spritz the watercolor paper with water. And it'll bleed too. I don't really want it to bleed, but it's gonna bleed. Okay, so let's do the next one. Okay. So this is a super fun technique with this set. Okay. Get it all soaked in there. Ooh, yummy pears. My favorite pears are the Danjo pears. I love those pears. Those are yummy. Okay, I spritzed the paper a little bit more. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna let that do its thing. I'm gonna set it aside. I'm gonna let it dry. I want to spritz it some more, but I shouldn't. I shouldn't do it. I'll let it dry and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, so now let's go back to the white to clean this off again. And yes, I do dry it off with my hand. It's better than... One time, Sarah and Shelly, the CEO, Sarah's the CEO, and Shelly's the chairman of the board, and Shelly helped start the company, found the company, and both super sweet. But to clean her stamp, they forgot the cleaning pad. Shelly licked the stamp. I was very surprised. She's like, yeah, it's fine, it's good. So anyway, okay, so I'm gonna line the Mossy Meadow up just with the Darling Duckling, and look at that. It just gives it extra like depth of color rather than just, look at that, stamping it on its own. Can you see the difference? This pear looks real, it looks ripe. Yeah? What do you think? I dig it. I tried adding the petal pink on this one. It didn't turn out quite as good, but still. So layering the colors on top just makes it richer and fuller and gives it more life. Hey, Joan, thanks for joining. And Brenda. Okay, so I think this is stuck down now. Oh, I forgot the leaves. Hello. Leaves, we need to do leaves. Okay, so the leaves, I'm only gonna do the Darling Duckling and the Mossy Meadow. So same process, we're just gonna stamp and we're gonna spritz. And we're going to, or ink I should say, and then clean. You do have to clean each time because you don't want to get a whole bunch of extra water on your ink pad. That's not the best thing to do. Okay, so that's the Darling Duckling, and then we've got the Mossy Meadow. Okay, and we'll just ink that up and spritz that and line that one up. Let that soak a little bit. Cool, cool, like it. Okay, clean that off again and ink and spritz and stamp. Cool. So we're gonna let those dry and then we're gonna come back and stamp the outlines. Oh, this one's really tough. I'm gonna have to re-grease that one. I like to grease it with Vaseline, and then it kind of helps make it easier to close. So if you do spritz the paper with water, it will spread. So just FYI. But I like how it kind of blends the colors in a little bit more. And we're gonna go back and even add some more detail to this. So here are our outline stamps waiting, and we'll come back to this one. I do wanna add the leaves on here, but I'm gonna start with so I did this same technique with this one and I spritzed it so you can see the water spread and came to all the edges, which is fine. It looks fantastic. You know, it just is a little variation of this one. And so we'll have this one about here. Let me get one of the, I don't have one of the other ones cut out to know. It's gonna be like about there, so that should be fine. Okay, so of course these are on dimensionals, and these are hanging from our tree. This one's gonna hang down further, and I'll make the leaf attach it to the tree. And then we have our thank you. And then I'm gonna add the flowers like on top of the leaves. And I might stamp them though, but they don't have a filler, but I think I'm gonna stamp them. Okay, and then the thank you, maybe down here, maybe in the middle. Middle? Or to the side? We can think about that one. Okay, we're gonna put that one off to the side and we're gonna do a quick little fun fold while we're waiting for that to dry. And so I've used the textured notes dies on pretty much most of the rectangle pieces. And this is just a Z-fold card. And this is our inside here, but we're gonna stamp on that. So I'm gonna put that aside. We're gonna stamp on that, and we've got our pears and everything here. And then we've got some of that pretty DSP. And I'm just gonna layer that on this one. And then we're only going to put adhesive on our left side. And I've folded this over, and so I can line this up with the other one. We've got our Z fold right here, and we're gonna add our pears to the top, of course, with dimensionals. And I've got the branch. We gotta do the branch first, I think. And I am gonna pop this up on dimensionals. This is the same branch, cut from Mossy Meadow paper. And let's see, any questions? Oh, she says the middle, okay. Yes. I just put Vaseline right here on the track, right there. And it makes it slide easier. And I can tell this isn't sliding very well, it's catching. So I need to grease that one up again. So I think it helps, because when I first get them, they are super stiff and difficult to open. One more. Okay, so now let's sticky. Okay, let's do our branch again. So this is kind of the same layout concept here. Our wonky branch, and we'll have one pair here, I guess, and then this pair we'll put here, and then I have the flowers and the leaves. We're gonna pop all of it up. Pop it all up. And then that one I'm gonna wait and see. I might not pop the flowers up. Okay, and so this guy just goes right on here, and I'm gonna tuck him like that. And then we'll do this one. Yeah, the watercolored branch is super fun. Let's see. Do I want this to be on? No, I want it to be underneath. So I'm gonna need to trim it a little bit. I'm gonna trim that off, make it look like it's coming out from under there. Where'd the top go? Come on. Okay, all right, so now we have that, and then the flowers. So I just wanted to add, you know, some of the flowers to the top as well. So I could do flowers here and here. Yeah. Okay, so I think I can use the big one. Okay. And then this one I can also use a big one. And so we've got some nice flowers there. So that's a nice, pretty front there. And then we have this little thin piece right here that we can do hello or thank you or congratulations. I'm gonna do thank you again because Always need thank you cards. But it's fun because you might see some of these thank you cards because I use them for customer thank yous. So I'm going to stamp this kind of over to the right because I'm going to use some of those pretty gems. And it fits right on there. And this is from the dies, the Perfectly Pears dies. It has a long one and a short one. And I'm just going to put that over. Let's see what it looks like on camera. Up here. What do you think? Up here? Oh, down there. I'm kind of thinking up here. I like it up there. Okay. So we'll do it up here. So I'm going to do it flat. And I'm going to let it kind of hang off a little bit. And then I could do that, but I don't want to. I want to do gems. And I'm going to do the Mossy Meadow ones. I don't want them to get like lost in there though. Let's see what they look like. Okay, kind of want to put one up here. Oh, they're so pretty. And they're so shimmery that they don't get lost. You can totally see them, right? They're like totally shimmery. Ooh, chapstick. I'm not sure. I mean, chapstick is very similar. I don't know. You could try it. You know, you could chapstick. I don't know. You could like wipe some on your finger and put some on, or yeah, that might work. Chapstick. But I just have like a big thing of Vaseline that's just dedicated to the craft room that I use, that I just have a Q-tip in, and I just use it for the ink pads. Okay, so there's our front. And then now for the inside, I want to do just some stamping. Trying to find the side of this so I can slide this all back in. And here it is. And I love the big one, so we're going to do the big one, and we're going to do that same thing here where I'm going to stamp it in the Darling Duckling. And I'm looking for my scrap paper because I want to go off the page a little bit. I should really just keep my scrap paper up here. Okay. And so I'm just going to go on this side. So when you open it, you can kind of see the pears here. Okay. So then we clean this off. I think my thumb is yellow. My thumb is yellowy green. Yeah, Q-tips. That's what I do. Put on Q-tips. Oh, that's right. For the chapstick, you could do that too. Totally. Okay, so I'm going to line this up. Again, it just looks so rich. I love it. That just looks flat. Very flat. Yummy. Okay, and then now we're going to do the outline. I really like the outline. I like that it's not exact. I like that it's just, it's artistic. It's, yeah. What's the other word? See how cute that is? It's really cute. Well, that one I totally missed on, but artistic. Okay, so this time I'm gonna stamp that first. Uh-oh, can't do it here. So I think I'm gonna mask. Masky mask. So let's do a quick mask with a Post-it note. And so what you do is you just stamp, and it doesn't really matter. Because I just want to cut out this side right here of the pear. And that's all I need, is I just need, nope, I need to do a little bit of the bottom. Okay, so there there's my mask. Doesn't need to be perfect. And then I can do, I'm just gonna do the one leaf there. And then the other leaf looks like it's tucked behind. Oops, I'm still gonna need this for when I do the leaves. So let's do the leaves. And I'm gonna do the leaves in the same, am I doing them in the same? They'll look too samey. Let's see what we can do with the leaves. Oh no. Okay, so I cleaned it off and we'll try doing that first again. And I might add, although I'm scared to add Cajun craze. Where is Cajun craze? Let's do a little bit of crushed curry. I'm stuck on the bags. Should I clean this off? That's not the one I'm using anyway. Let's do a little crushed curry, just to make it, you know, kind of different from the pears, a little darker. Okay, so now let's do the mossy meadow. There we go. Okay. And then we'll stamp that. And yeah, it looks different. It looks darker. Okay. I feel like I'm still stuck on something, but I'm not. And then I just used the pecan pie to color the stem because I just wanted it to be different. And then you can stamp a message in there, but you can stamp whatever you want in there, but it's just kind of fun to stamp something on the inside. So we'll put that on the inside and that will be a beautiful thank you card for someone. Yay! Okay, so there's the next card. Okay, we're still waiting. Those are still a little bit wet, so we're still waiting for those to dry. And those are gonna go with, those pears are gonna go with this one. And so I'm gonna do some of that watercolor wash that I showed you. So I tried it on this side and it didn't work. I didn't like it. So we're gonna use this side. So I'm gonna grab a water painter. Still have all the water painters. This one doesn't have any water. Let's pick one with water. Let's just do one of the big ones because we're just gonna do a like blob of water. Blob of water, blob. Okay, so this is how I did the other card. So I just did this blob of water. Now I'm gonna grab cloud cover and I have the refill. So I'm gonna put the refill in the top and then I'm just going to squeeze because I just wanna add a little bit of water to this. I don't want it to be too dark, right? You wanna start light and then you can add color as you go. So let's get a little bit more color. Can you see any color? Yeah, you can kind of see the color coming. There we go. There we go. And I like making the blob because then the water just kind of carries the color around and it kind of does its own thing. And I think that's really fun. So I'm gonna have to let that dry and we'll come back to that one. I'm just gonna cap this off and we'll let that dry. Okay, next we have, okay, so this one, I wanted to use the little pears that I had watercolored. So, and then this I cut out of, is this watercolor paper? I think it is. And so I'm going to show you how I did the other one. So we're going to have a little bit of watercoloring on this. So I'm just layering it on Darling Duckling. And there's ribbon that goes with this suite too, and I forgot to get it. So then I made that too big. Darny darn darn. I don't want it to be too big. I want it to show. All right, I'm gonna show you what I do when I make these mistakes. I get the dimensionals backings and I stick them on the back so that I'm not getting this stuck to anything accidentally. And I have my little palette knife, that's my remover, aka persuader. I call it the persuader because it gently persuades the paper to get off. Ugh. But it works pretty well. So palette knives are good. Okay, and so now on this one, I'm also going to get my paper, my backing here. Can I fit it this way? Now we're gonna go this way. And I am going to trim this. And so this is how I protect my cute little mini trimmer from getting adhesive gunk all over it. So this needs to be 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. So let's see if I got the 5 1/8 right. I surely did. Awesome. So that should be ready to go. Oops. And now this one, it still has a little bit of adhesive on the top, but I'm just gonna go for it. So this is gonna be 5 1/4 by 4. Probably. I should have put stuff on the other side because now I'm getting a little bit of adhesive on it, and that's still a little bit too long. Let's try that. 5 1/4. Okay. Yay! I would love it if Stampin' Up! Would bring back that mini trimmer. We should all email Stampin' Up! And say, bring back the mini trimmer. Okay, so now this should work. That feels like it's too small. It's too small. So I gotta make this smaller. So I'm just gonna do one side. Okay. Put it this way. And so let's cut here. So that's how I fix that. Okay, that's better. I feel like the yellow duckling is not right too. Okay, that's better. Okay, so now I can remove all that and I can stick it on. And then to clean this off, I just use a wipe. So this is a Clorox wipe. And I just get all the adhesive off and it's good to go again. Okay, yay. There we go. Okay, now this is much better. There we go. Okay, back to water. Ooh, this is almost dry. Back to watercoloring. Okay, so similar concept here. I'm gonna get this whole thing wet. Wet, nice and wet. And then I'm gonna grab the Mossy Meadow. And it looks like I need a little bit more, so you can use the ink refill or you can just press the lid into the top. And I'm just gonna color this whole thing to get some color on here. And then I'm gonna go back in and just get some darker colors on here. I need a little bit more darker everywhere actually. So I think I will need the re-inker to get more. Is there any dark stuff back there? Okay, and so you do that, and then you keep adding like layers of color and darker colors. Let's grab the mossy yellow. Whee! Okay. Yes, I'm on every Tuesday at 3. Welcome, Christy. Everybody, welcome. Oh, it's Cindy. Welcome, Cindy. And thank you, Karen. And hey, Judy. Judy, you got the prize today. You got the card from last week. I'm sending this wonderful card to you. So congratulations, Judy. I'm glad you showed up. It's fun to be here when you win, right? Okay, so now it's gonna get really dark. And I'm just gonna put like a little bit on the edges and let the water do the work again. And let the water just, you know, seep across. Get it wet to do more. And then add more. So this is a fun process to add the color and make the color look variegated and watercolored. So you're definitely gonna have to let that dry because I added a lot of water. Let's add some more. I want it to be darker. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And then to clean this off, you can just run it under running water, or you can squeeze and just keep squeezing, and eventually it'll wash all the water off. Ooh dear, for you. Don't want that one to get wet. That one's not supposed to be wet. Okay, maybe I should put that one away. Okay, anyway. There we go. So this suite is super fun with watercoloring. Okay, so I'm gonna put this one to dry. I'm running out of space. Okay, so this one's gonna dry over here, and this one got a little wet too. And we're gonna put that one away and let that dry. And then we've got another piece cut out with the textured notes dies. I've got green on my fingernail too. And these are all of my backings. And I think this is dry enough. So we're gonna switch gears. And we're gonna go back to this card, and I've got cloud cover ink. I've got my Elements of Text stamp, and there's this round one as well, but I find this one's easier to stamp across. Oh, but I want to stamp off because I want it to be really light. I don't want it to be too dark. I'm gonna need another scrap paper, so I'm just gonna grab one of these. Okay. And then you just stamp on there, and it just creates this really nice, like soft background. See that? Thank you guys. Thank you, Pam. You guys are so sweet. Okay, so we've got that, and I decided to use the extra piece that I cut out from this piece right here. Don't throw away your windows, as a window for this card. So I'm just going to adhere this down in the middle. And then we'll put this on top with dimensionals, of course. And this one, I do lots of dimensionals, and I think I'm gonna have to do the mini ones. I think that'll just be easier. But I just want it not to bend in, fold in. So yes, this is a lot of dimensionals, but it's gonna help. It's gonna be good. So bear with me as I dimensionalize this puppy. I should have done it before, but I didn't. Let's move this one actually over here. Oh, darn. Okay, so now I get to remove all of these lovely ones, and I think our pears are dry, but that's not dry right there. And, oh, thanks for popping in, Joan. What's for dinner? Yes, I love watercoloring. It is very relaxing. Any kind of coloring to me is very relaxing. And these are just fun ways to use watercolor quickly and eat more easily, and without having to like be able to draw or be like a full-fledged artist. Okay, almost there. I think this might be the record for how many dimensionals. Okay, I think I've got them all off. Just checking here. And then we can put this on top. Nice. Okay, so this is our nice little window into our world of pears. So we've got a little piece right there that we can do, and then we're gonna come back to our pears here, and we need the secret C. Secret C. Move this out of the way. I think this is dry enough that I can get rid of this, so I'm not touching that anymore. Okay, so now I can do the outlines. So we're gonna stamp the outline of the pears. And of the leaves. Okay, sorry if my head got in the way. And then we can use the dies to cut these out, but I'm just gonna do a little rough pre-cut here. Just to get them separate. Probably have room for one more leaf or something on there. Okay, so we've got our leaves and our pears, and I should have prepared them ahead of time and had them magically cut out, but I didn't. So we're going to use our little mini embossing and cutting machine, and I'm going to clean those off. Maybe not. I'll put them over there so I don't touch them. And then we're going to grab our plates. So we need plate number 1. And then we've got plate 2 and 3, or 2, I should say, two twos. And we're gonna do a pear and a leaf. And I'm gonna grab my dies. And I just love the little mini embossing machine. It pretty much cuts everything. There's not a whole lot of large dies that we have. So this little guy can cut pretty much everything, and I bring him with me when I travel so that I can still die cut stuff, because I feel like my creativity is not as broad if I don't have my die cutting machine. I just love die cutting. Okay, so here's one leaf and one pear. And then we'll do some more, one more. So another pair, and see, this is kind of bubbling up. So I'm gonna flip this over, and I'm also going to push all of the plates to one side to give it a little bit more stability when I put it through, because it's got a lot of wiggle room. And then we'll do the leaf here, and then I'm gonna offset the plates, and then I'm gonna readjust the pear, because I noticed that it kind of moved a little bit. And I want it to be there. Okay, so now offset the plate. Oh, darn, it moved again. I probably need to use washi tape. There we go. Okay. Just wanted to grab the leaves before I grab the top. Okay, I'm gonna stick that back down, and then we've cut these two guys out. So nice. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit more detail to our pears with some of the stamps from the stamp set. My trash can's getting full, and I can put my plates away. Oh my gosh, I still have so many more cards to show you. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna go over, and if you have to go, you have to go. Okay, let's see, does it fold up? Yes, it does. And oh, chili enchiladas, that sounds good for dinner. When's dinner? Can I come? Okay, so Mossy Meadow, and they have these fun little like detailed stamps, like little speckles, splatters, or something. So I'm just gonna stamp that on there. Look how cute that looks. And so you just stamp, and then if you want to stamp again, you know, you can stamp again, get some more detail on your pear. And then this one has a little bit more detail. I used that one on the little pears. And then we can come back here, and we're gonna add this guy on with glue. So it's kind of fun to match watercoloring and then just paper, die cut paper. So I'm mixing it up with that. And so I'm gonna slip this in here. So this is our little branch coming down. Okay. And then these all get dimensionals. And I'll put this card over here. And we'll add our pears. So I'm kind of doing the same layout for all of the cards, but yeah. Because pears, I guess I could have gone this way. I should have gone the other way. I'm gonna put it down there. Okay, and now our mini dimensionals. Ooh. But so many possibilities, so much fun. So you could put it on top. This time I'm gonna tuck it behind. And I'm gonna kind of tilt this one this way. And then you can have a sentiment down here, however you want it. Let's see how it looks. Tuck it. Kind of feel like I should tuck that in. So let's do Secret C, and I'm gonna do thank you again. I'm stuck on the thank you. But you might get one of these thank you cards one day. I use them as thank you cards when people place orders. And let's use, I'm very excited some of the Secret Sea dots. Those are the prettiest, in my opinion. And I do have some Secret Sea ribbon, so we can use that too. Not necessarily on this card, but definitely on one of the cards. Pull the whole thing out. We'll get the big one. Try. Look at how pretty that is. It's hard for you to see, but it's so pretty. So, so pretty. Yeah, the arch looks great with everything. And it just looks like, oh, you're peering through a window at the neighbor's pears or something. And there you go. Yummy. Okay, now it's getting close to dinner here. I'm on the West Coast, so I'm a little bit behind the rest of the country. Okay, so I was gonna do more pears and more watercoloring, and then I was gonna add it to a card like that, and then I have a card like that. I'm just kind of searching through and figuring out what card I want to do. A card like that. And these are, I've got a whole bunch of scrappy pieces that I'm gonna use. And then this is one of the papers. I need to trim it down, but I thought, ooh, that would be kind of pretty too. So I'm gonna have to decide what side I wanted to use. But I thought that would be cool. And then some pears, you know, maybe do some of the little pears on this one. And then I had this one I was gonna do. And this one, here's another arch, and I need to cut that down, I can see. And then these we're gonna go this way. So I have all of these prepared. Let's do this one. Okay, so this time I'm gonna cut first. Cut first, stick second. And I can tell that I didn't cut very well on this one. Oh, this one is short. Okay. That's fine. I can work with it. Okay. We're just gonna make everything shorter. Did I already cut that edge? I think I did. Yeah. Okay, so then now this is gonna be here. Okay. Let's see if I cut it right. A little bit more. 3 3/4. And then a little bit more there. Okay, that looks good. Okay. All my little shavings here. And then we can do this. Okay. Yes, Secret Sea is warming up on me. And I like it because it's dark, but it's not black. Okay, so there we go. Now we're gonna have our little window, and we're gonna have some of our pears that I cut out. That's a lot of pears. And we can have, let's do Mossy Meadow. Let's do it this way. Just try and do it different, a little differently. These look way too uniform to do together. Maybe just one pair. We'll just do one pair. One pair of pears. And then I have some flowers. I don't know if I want to do some flowers behind or something. We'll see. Okay, so we'll glue this one on again. down this way. I think it's supposed to go the other way, but nice to change it up. I'll just trim that off right there. Okay, and then dimensionals. And we'll put our little pears down here. And I think we should do maybe some flowers up here. Flowers. Yeah, I want to do some flowers. Okay. There. I like that. Okay, and then I'm just going to stamp directly on there. And let's do Secrecy. And guess what I'm going to stamp? You're right. Thank you. Nice. So if you, cut them out, you can just go for it and just let your creativity run wild and have fun just putting things together with a couple of die cuts, like from the Textured Notes dies or the Everyday Arches dies, or the dies I used last week were really nice, the Label Me Grateful dies. So here's another little simple one. Ooh, we have to add Secrecy dots. That's a must. Anytime I can add these, I'm gonna add them. Ooh. Tricky little buggers. Okay. Usually the scissors work, but okay. Okay, there we go. I like it. Thinking maybe I should have done a layer, but I like it. Okay, so there's that one. And then let's go back and, oh, I didn't do the leaves. So I'm gonna do the leaf. Oh no, I got water on it. Okay, so I'll redo that. I'll redo that one. I've got another one. And then we'll add some flowers. Are the flowers enough? No, I need the leaves. I need to do more leaves. So I'll do more leaves for that one. Oh, I should have done, where'd that card go? I should have done this one for that other card, but I can use it for another card. Okay, so that one's done. And then which one do I want to do next? Let's take all of these. I don't want to do the secret one, the secrecy ones. There's also this pear petal one, maybe. Okay, so I've cut these out using the Textured Notes dies, and then I just wanted to layer it just on Old Olive. I think I want to trim this just a little bit. I think that's the one I want to trim. So I'm just going to layer this on. These are some cards. I don't know what I was doing. I was trying to do some kind of card and ended up not doing it, but I thought, hey, I can use it for this other card. Okay, so now I'm going to trim, oops, this edge a little bit. Okay, let's see. And then I was gonna layer these two on the inside, but that's Mossy Meadow. Oh, there it is. Old Olive. Yes, Old Olive. Yes, this is the one. Okay, so that one looks good. but I think I need to trim this one down. How do I pick placement for my gems? Oh, that's a good question. I always do an odd number, so 3, 5, 7, although I don't know that I've ever done 7. Because I like to hoard embellishments too. But I always do odd numbers, and then I like to do the large one usually around the bottom on the right or the left, and if I do it on one side, then I do the smaller ones on the other side. And I just like to space it out so it looks random and it doesn't like quite line up vertically or horizontally. And I like to do it sometimes close to the elements, so it kind of gives the eye, you know, the eye is not having to look at the subject and then look at the gem and then look at the subject and then look at the gem. It all just flows together. I mean, the thank you should have been over here, honestly, but it's kind of balancing out that side. And your eye can go like this. So it's kind of, so those are some of the basic things that I follow. Where else did I put gems? So here, you know, I put the large one on this side, so I put the smaller ones on the right side. Again, I didn't line them up horizontally or vertically, and I just kind of spaced them around the elements, not, you know, too far from the elements. But there's really no rules about it necessarily. Like on this one, I added 1 to the sentiment and then added 2 over here. So that's a little bit different, but again, I used 3, I didn't line up, so there's still that. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Ooh, I need to put gems on here. I need to put I'm gonna put gems on all of them. All of them need gems. They're so pretty. Okay, let's line that up a little bit better. And this paper is just so dramatic. So dramatic. And look at me playing with the pears that I scoffed at. But I take it back. This is a beautiful suite, and I have enjoyed using it, and it makes some very beautiful cards. Very beautiful. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. I think I'm gonna flip that around so the pears aren't backwards. And I'm gonna put this on dimensionals. I kind of want to add ribbon. Ribbon. Or just a bow. Maybe just a bow. We'll do a bow. Okay, so I'm just gonna do some dimensionals on the left side. And then some of the card is trimmed away, and it shows a little bit of what's going on the inside. And then I'll probably cut out a white piece this size and put it in there like that, so they line up. And then I will add some pears, but I want to add the big pears. I like the big pears. So I'll cut out, I can do these pears. So we'll do those pears. So I need the Darling Duckling. Let's see if I add this on top of the Mossy Meadow, if that still works. I think it should. Yeah. Although I like it better if you add the Darling Duckling first. So then we'll do the leaves. I'm just gonna do the leaves straight Mossy Meadow. Maybe I'll add some crumb cake to the leaves. So Mossy Meadow, and then I don't think I have crumb cake here with me. We've got all these colors. I wonder if the basic beige would have enough I think it's more green than brown. Where did my, I'll just use what I'm actually supposed to kind of use. I'll use the chamois, the chamois, to get it squeaky clean. Okay, basic beige, doing a little experiment. Oh, it makes the mossy meadow richer. Okay, I like that, but I wanted it like a little bit more with a bit of brown in it, a bit of brown. So I am going to, am I stamping? Yeah, I am going to stamp on top of these. So let's just see what it looks like with the outlines. Okay. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I like it. But I think I really do want to see what the crumb cake looks like with that. So let's grab the crumb cake. Make sure I'm not gonna run over my Trader Joe's bags. Crumb cake. Scoot. Okay, so again, I will clean this. Basic beige really isn't that dark. And let's add a little bit of crumb cake and see what that looks like. It looks about the same. Okay. We will go with it. That's what we have. Okay, so I'm gonna cut those out and those are gonna go on here. And then I'll probably stamp thank you on that and add it to that. And I have a couple more of these little thin labels that I cut out. And I also have this because there's a good friend is a gift. And so I am going to use that on one. And so it'll fit on there nicely. So I've got that in reserve here for one of this multitude of cards that I'm going to do. Oh, that's right. I had one down here. I don't know. I'm not that fond of the little pears. I like the big pears. Maybe just, yeah, that works. Okay, let's grab that sentiment. And this is just going to be a really simple card. Simple but nice. And I'm going to trade it for the flowers. And use the secret C. I'm just going to get a tissue. Just still getting over that silly cold. Okay, a good friend is a gift, and you are all gifts. You are all wonderful gifts, and I really appreciate all of you supporting me and watching me. It really means a lot to me, so that I'm not just talking to myself every week. Okay, I'm gonna pop the pears up too. So this one's just nice and simple, and I don't want to cover that up, but it's getting covered up. And then the pears, we're gonna have those be popped up, and so I'm gonna need double over here. So I'm gonna stick another one there. And then for this one, I'm excited. I haven't used a whole lot of the, what color is that? Darling Duckling. It's so bright. It's really pretty on here. Okay, so again, I'm gonna, no, I'm gonna do one down here. So since I'm doing one in that corner, I'm gonna do 2 in this corner, and I'm not gonna put it on the yellow. Otherwise it's gonna get hidden. It's gonna be hidden, and why would I put it on there just to hide it? So I'm gonna put it on the darker colors so you can kind of see it. Not quite as well, but here's just a simple card. Let's see, what if you stamped off the outline once so the lines don't take away from your images? Yes, that could also be that could be something that you do too. Or you could stamp, you could do the outlines in the same color. I'm gonna try that. Do that. And I think I cut off the leaves on these ones, and I don't know why. Okay, so I have to cut out for that card, so let's make this. And I'm gonna have to cut out for this card too. Oh, this is on watercolor. That's right, I was gonna do another watercoloring one. I was gonna do the, where's Petal Pink? Gonna do the Painted Stripes watercolor one. So let's do that one, and I will end on that one. I think this is too large anyway, so that will be layered, but I will be working on all the rest of these cards and sharing them with you in the next week on my blog and on my Facebook page. So let me get this guy out and scrap paper here. Scrap paper is always good when I'm doing this. And so that I don't lose this flower, I'm just gonna stick it on there. We've got the Petal Pink, and I'm gonna clear out a little bit of room here. And so we get to ink this all up with Petal Pink. And when you stamp it on white, it looks watercolory. It looks really cool. But I want it to exaggerate the watercoloring, and so I'm just gonna get this whole thing wet. It's just sopping wet. It's very wet. Okay, and so that way when I stamp it, it's just gonna let the ink spread. So I'm just gonna tuck it in and drop it right on there. And then I'm just gonna use my elbows and let the color sink into that water, to the watercolor paper a bit. Okay. Oh, because I did the other side before. That's why. And there you go. And if you wanted to mute it a little bit, I forgot that I was going to stamp off. You can just add more water to it and kind of look how it's running. And so I'm getting a little bit of the pink on the white. So it's not just going to be all white, but the pink is going to be pretty strong still. And then you let that dry. And that looks really cool. See, I already had done it on the other side, but I didn't get enough water. You see right there. But this time I got the water. So it looks nice and streaky. And then that's just gonna get layered on some Petal Pink. And then I'm gonna add the pears. Although what I really wanted to try is I wanted to stamp off because I wanted it to be lighter. So I'm probably gonna try this again. Or let's see if I can use a paper towel. So I've got paper towels here too to get off some of the ink and make it lighter. I don't think I can. I think it's too late. Squeeze. Okay, I'm making it all super wet again. To see if I can get off some of the color. So a little bit came off, but it's still darker than I wanted it to be. So I'm gonna work on that, and you'll see the card this week on my blog and Facebook page. I'll be sharing it there. And I always get water everywhere. Not good on cards. Not good. Okay, so yeah, I want it lighter. I'm kind of picky. I want it to be lighter because it's too dark. I feel like it's too dark. Yeah. So I'll rejig that one, and then I'll finish this one, and then I'm gonna work on 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 or so cards. And I'll be posting a lot of them on my social media, Facebook, and my hands are all inky, on social media and on my Facebook page. So be sure to watch out for those. And thank you guys for hanging out with me longer. And I hope that you enjoyed this and you learned some fun tips and that you'll try them. And I hope to see you next Tuesday for some more adventures in stamping with me, Elaine, with Sweet Stampin'. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. And don't forget that the InColor sale is going on now. So the dots that I use are on sale because they have some InColors in them. So it's not just the InColor products, but it's products that have the InColors in them. So like the extraordinary washi tape was one of the items, and it went out of stock, so darn. But thank you, and thanks for joining me, and make sure you set your clock to watch me again next Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And I haven't decided what we're doing yet, but it's going to be fun as always. And as always, if there's any techniques that you want to see or any ideas or suggestions that you have, I'm open to hear them. You can just email me, elaine@sweetstampin.com, or just contact me through my website as well, and I would love to hear them.